The day has finally come. The Nintendo Switch 2 Direct was just yesterday, and wow, I am honestly in shock, for better and for worse. I was going to make a video about it yesterday, but I waited to give my thoughts some time to resonate. And yeah, this was definitely a Direct. I have a lot of things to talk about in this video. Firstly, the main part of the Direct, the specs. The specs are absolutely amazing on the Switch 2. It definitely surpassed my expectations. The Switch 2 is going to be able to support 4K when docked, which is really great, and 1080p when on handheld mode, and that's a huge improvement from the Switch 1. We also, astonishingly, have 120 FPS. I highly doubted that we'd get this, but it's awesome to see that it's here. And also the Switch 2 supports HDR, which is also pretty nice. I honestly wasn't expecting the specs to be like this. This is way past my expectations. This is honestly on PlayStation's level of power. This is amazing. Being able to play Nintendo games in 4K or at 120 FPS is truly revolutionary. And that's about all they revealed for specs, and it's pretty much anything we'd ever want. Next up is the controller showcase, and these are probably the best controllers Nintendo has ever made. The controllers can be used as a mouse, which is awesome because it can allow games like Mario Maker to run way better on the Switch 2. It was pretty finicky to use the controller on the Switch 1, so I'm happy to see that this is here. This allows for so many more games, and hopefully even Mario Paint to be ported over. But to be honest, this isn't really Nintendo's fault, but I'm not going to be able to use the mouse since I sit in a gaming chair and I'm not really at my desk playing the Switch. So it's going to be useless for me, but it's really awesome that it's an option, and I probably will utilize it at some point. We also finally see what the C button does, and it's a Discord chat room. I was kind of expecting this, but it is pretty surprising to see. You're able to share your screen and even use a camera, which you have to buy separately. But we're going to talk about that later, because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. The Switch 2 also adds a microphone for voice chat, which is awesome, but you need Switch Online to use it, which I guess, yeah, that's to be expected, but it's still kind of lame. Locking a button behind a paywall is definitely a Nintendo move. My only concern about this is that the frame rate won't be that good when sharing a screen, but to be honest, not many people are going to use this to begin with. Like, I really can't think of anyone who's unironically sharing their screen, aside from people who just want to fool around. But let's talk about the good stuff, the games. Jesus Christ, Nintendo, you really went all out on the games. And when I say all out, I mean they went bonkers, literally. We got to see more of the new Mario Kart World, and it looks really great, like absolutely amazing. There are so many characters in this game, I don't even know where to begin. You can play as a freaking cow. This is awesome. You can also play as most Mario enemies, which is pretty sick. And for some reason you can play as a snowman, but I'm not complaining. We also saw some returning tracks, like Sky High Sundays coming back. You can drive on walls, drive on grind rails. This really is the ultimate Mario Kart. And just today, during the Nintendo Treehouse livestream, we got to see more footage of it. And some of the tracks look out of this world. They look absolutely astonishing. Look at this Donkey Kong track. This is awesome. I am so hyped for this Mario Kart game. We even have new modes like knockout mode. You get knocked out of the race if you're below a certain ranking when you hit a checkpoint, which is a really cool concept, and I'm surprised it wasn't explored earlier. The only critique I have, which is very small, is that we didn't see battle mode. I'm not really complaining about this since we saw an open world mode, which in my opinion could replace battle mode, but it would be nice to see battle mode in this game. To be honest, it probably will be in this game, we just didn't see it now. But yeah, this game I'm so excited for. This is going to be epic. And to the shock of me and everyone else online, we saw a new Donkey Kong game, a 3D game at that. Let me just tell you, I was shocked. This is one of the games I was least expecting, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. Just like the Mario Kart, there's so much going on and so much new stuff. We didn't see much of it yet, we just saw the trailer for it, but I'm telling you, I'm definitely picking this up day one. Well, that's what I would say, if it wasn't for one thing, which we'll talk about in a bit. But I still want to move on to the positives. Kirby Air Riders is getting a sequel, which is one of my favorite GameCube games. This is the game I'm definitely the most hyped for, even more hyped than the Mario Kart, and that's definitely a hard game to dethrone. We saw basically nothing for this game, just a teaser, but it's great to see that this game is in development. We didn't see a new 3D Mario game, which is kind of strange, but I assume it's going to be a holiday release, because I mean you need some way to bump up the sales. We also got GameCube Online, which is awesome. It's also pretty funny how Nintendo highlights the most expensive games when they say more games are being added soon. That's just hilarious. They know that GameCube has a wicked high market value right now. But hopefully these games go down in price, which honestly I doubt they will, because it isn't permanent, it's just temporary. But it's really nice how we can play these on a modern Nintendo console for the first time ever. Another game that we see is the Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which looks pretty cool. At first I thought it was just a tech demo to show off the console's capabilities, and I was like, so cool, is this launching with the console? And it is, but it's gonna be paid. This is absolutely baffling. Why do we have to pay for a tech demo? Even Wii Sports was free with the Wii. I mean, come on Nintendo, seriously? You can't even give us this one thing for free? And that leads me to the biggest problem. The prices for everything is through the roof. The console's $450, which honestly isn't that bad. I'm used to paying PlayStation prices, so seeing an expensive console isn't something new. But the games are just, I don't even know what to say. $80 for Mario Kart is absolutely absurd and should not be normalized. I just can't justify spending $80 on a video game, no matter what the video game is. If Sony made a sequel to Astrobot that's $80, hell, I'm not even buying that, and Astrobot's my favorite game ever. I just can't believe how we went from 60 to 80. Like, Nintendo, what is the point of this? And normal Switch 2 games are going to be 70. I kind of expected this jump, but it's still insane to say out loud. Nintendo has stuck to 60 for so long, and with Tears of the Kingdom, yes, that was a big game, so I could kind of justify the $70. But I just can't justify anything above 70. And Tears of the Kingdom was the only exception. Now, one of the most common defenses for this is, oh, Sony's been at 70 for a while, but there's a difference with that. Sony's games go on sale, unlike Nintendo, which only has a sale on like Mario Day and Black Friday. That's basically it. Their games are rock solid when they come to the price. So we're not going to see these games go down in price. At least Sony, some of their AAA games go down to like $20. This is not even comparable to Sony. I'm just absolutely like baffled at this. $80 for Mario Kart. And apparently digital is going to be cheaper, which is even worse. This is just incentivizing people to buy digital, which is way worse in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it's fine, do whatever you want, but like, come on, why do we have to pay more for physical? I'm someone who loves physical media. I mean, I'm not going to buy a game if it's digital only. I need a physical copy. So seeing digital cheaper is just such a shame. In the $80 Mario Kart, all it's doing is just allowing companies to publish games for $80 now. $80 will probably be the norm. 70 is already outrageous. I'd argue 60 is outrageous, but 70? That's absurd. And now we're at 80. If Nintendo doesn't slash the price of this, I just can't see this game selling that well. It'll sell well in the first month because of die-hard Mario fans, but in this economy, can families really buy this for their kids? I mean, sure, the Switch 2 bundle with Mario Kart is $500, which is cheaper if you buy the two separately, but seriously, you're getting a digital copy. This is just absolutely outrageous pricing. And honestly, that's not even the worst part. The worst part has to be these expansion things. So basically you can buy expansions for Switch 1 games, which gives them higher resolution, higher frame rates, and some extra content in some games. Now the games with extra content I can excuse, because the extra content does make the expansion worth it. But the Zelda games get no extra content, just higher resolution and higher frame rates, and you have to pay. That is the most scummy move Nintendo has made. Paying to upgrade Switch 1 games, and all it's doing is just enhancing the quality and the frame rate. It's not adding anything else. Why is Nintendo charging so much for everything? They're charging $50 for the camera, it doesn't even come with the console. Joy-Cons has had a price hike for $90. $90. That is more than a PS5 controller, which has way more features. You need Switch Online to be able to use the cast button, so basically if you don't have online, you can't use the button. One button on the controller is locked behind a paywall after 2026. So yeah, if you can't tell, I'm pretty mad. The thing is, I can afford the Switch 2, but will I buy it? Probably not. Until the price stabilizes even a tiny bit, I just can't support this, so yeah, I'm not buying this. Everything about it is just great. I love the Donkey Kong game, the Mario Kart, everything that's coming up, but I honestly, again, just can't justify the price. Sure, some people might be able to, but if we keep buying this, games are just going to keep increasing in price to even $90. What do you think PlayStation's doing when they look at this? They'll see this as a green light to make their games $80. And yeah, not every Switch game is going to be $80, but a large majority of the big releases like 3D Mario and Zelda will be. And if people don't wake up and realize that yeah, maybe spending $80 for one game isn't a good thing, then we can have this price changed if we just stop buying it. But the same people who complain about it are still going to buy it because that's how Nintendo fans roll. Honestly, Nintendo, I need you to get your act together. I really want this console, but again, paying $80 for one game is absurd. I really hope this gets a price cut or something is done, but other than that, I really have no other complaints. This problem is just too big to ignore. But thanks for watching to the end. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and comment if you're getting the Switch too. Become a channel member if you want exclusive perks, and join the Discord to share your opinions personally with me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.